Continuing from our discussion on encumbrances and easements, we now move into one of the most critical forms of encumbrances that affect property ownership and title transfer: the lien. A lien directly impacts the marketability of title because it represents a financial claim or legal right held by a creditor against property to secure payment of a debt. Liens are central to understanding how real estate transactions, financing, and foreclosure proceedings function. A lien is a creditor's claim against personal or real property used as security for repayment of a debt. If the property owner defaults, the lien allows the creditor to force the sale of the property to recover what is owed. For example, if a homeowner borrows $5,000 for a roof repair, the lender places a lien on the property for that amount. If the owner defaults, the lender may foreclose and use the proceeds from the sale to satisfy the debt. Liens restrict the owner's ability to transfer property with a clear title and reduce the owner's equity in the property by the amount of the debt. The creditor who holds the lien is called the lienor, and the debtor or property owner is the lienee. Understanding liens. In real estate, a lien represents a legal interest that ensures repayment of a financial obligation. The lien secures the creditor's rights and provides a remedy if the borrower fails to pay. A common example is a home mortgage. The lender places a lien on the home as collateral for the loan. If the borrower defaults, the lender may foreclose to recover the funds owed. Loans secured by property are called secured loans because the real estate acts as collateral. Loans that are not tied to property are unsecured loans, such as credit card debts. A lien holder is the person or institution that holds this right to enforce repayment. Not all liens arise from the same kind of debt. For example, a property owner may offer a lien on their home to secure a loan for a business venture. Even though the debt is unrelated to the property's use, the lien still attaches to the home, giving the lender the right to enforce it through foreclosure if the borrower defaults. Creation of liens. Liens are created in three main ways: by contract, by statute, or by equity. A contractual lien arises when a borrower voluntarily gives a lender the right to place a lien on the property, such as through a mortgage or deed of trust. Because this type of lien conveys an interest in real property, it must be in writing and signed by the borrower under the statute of frauds to be enforceable. A statutory lien is imposed by law rather than agreement. Examples include property tax liens and mechanics liens. These liens are involuntary and do not require the owner's consent. For example, if a homeowner fails to pay property taxes, the county automatically records a lien to secure repayment. An equitable lien is based on fairness. Courts can impose an equitable lien to prevent unjust enrichment or fraud. For instance, if someone embezzles money to purchase property, a judge may impose an equitable lien on that property to ensure repayment to the victim. Lien priority. When multiple liens exist on one property, lien priority determines the order in which creditors are repaid from the proceeds of a foreclosure sale. Generally, liens are paid based on the first-in-time, first-in-right principle, meaning the first lien recorded in the county records has higher priority. However, there are exceptions. Certain statutory liens, such as property tax liens and mechanics liens, may take precedence regardless of when they were recorded. For example, if both a mortgage and a tax lien exist on a property, the tax lien is superior and will be paid first at foreclosure. Some states follow race statutes, where the first party to record the lien has priority, even if they knew about earlier unrecorded liens. Others use race notice statutes, which require that the lien holder both record first and have no knowledge of earlier liens to maintain priority. For example, suppose Tom gives First National Bank a mortgage lien on Monday and Second National Bank a lien on Tuesday. If Second National records first, it may have priority in a race statute state, but not in a race notice state if it had prior knowledge of the earlier lien. Satisfaction and release of liens. Once a lien holder has been fully paid, the debt is considered satisfied. The lien holder must then issue a lien release, which is recorded with the county to publicly document that the property is no longer encumbered. A partial satisfaction may occur if only part of the debt is repaid. If the lienholder fails to release the lien after full payment, the property owner may petition the court to have it removed. Proper release ensures that the title is clear for future sales or refinancing. Legal features of liens share several defining legal characteristics. 1. A lien does not convey ownership. With the exception of mortgage liens in title theory states, the creditor holds only a financial interest, not ownership. In title theory jurisdictions, the lender temporarily holds legal title until the loan is repaid, while the borrower retains equitable title. 2. A lien attaches to the property, not the owner. If the property is sold, the lien remains until satisfied. The new owner takes the property subject to the existing lien. 3. Properties can have multiple liens. It's common for one property to have a mortgage lien, tax lien, and possibly a mechanics lien at the same time. The more liens attached, the less secure the collateral becomes for new creditors. 4. A lien terminates upon payment and release. Once the debt is fully paid and the release is recorded, the lien is extinguished. Failure to pay can result in foreclosure proceedings, forcing the sale of the property. Types of liens. Liens are classified as voluntary or involuntary, general or specific, and superior or inferior. Voluntary versus involuntary liens. A voluntary lien is one the owner willingly places on the property, such as a mortgage. An involuntary lien is imposed without the owner's consent, usually through statute or court order. Property tax liens are statutory, while judgment liens are equitable and result from court rulings. General versus specific liens. A general lien attaches to all real and personal property owned by a debtor, such as an inheritance tax lien. A specific lien attaches to one particular property. For instance, a mortgage or mechanics lien applies only to the specific property involved in the loan or improvement. Superior versus inferior liens. Superior senior liens take precedence over inferior junior liens and are paid first from foreclosure proceeds. Examples of superior liens include property taxes, special assessments, and inheritance taxes. Inferior liens include mortgages, income taxes, and mechanics liens unless otherwise prioritized by statute. Establishing lien priority. Lien priority depends primarily on two factors: the lien's classification as superior or junior, the date of recordation in public records. Within each category, the order in which liens are recorded determines the sequence of repayment. The highest ranking lien gets paid first, and the lowest ranking lien is paid last, if any proceeds remain. If all liens are satisfied and money is left over, the remaining balance is returned to the property owner. For instance, in a foreclosure sale, property taxes are always paid first. Next come any special assessments or senior mortgages, followed by junior mortgages, mechanics liens, and finally, judgment liens. Summary. A lien is a financial claim against property that secures payment of a debt. Liens may be voluntary, involuntary, statutory, or equitable, and they limit an owner's ability to sell or refinance until satisfied. Priority determines which creditors are paid first, with government liens such as taxes taking top position. Once the underlying debt is paid, a lien release clears the property's title. Discussion. What makes a lien an encumbrance rather than an ownership right? Answer. A lien grants the creditor a security interest, not possession or ownership, making it an encumbrance on title. Why is lien priority important to creditors? Answer. It determines the order in which creditors are paid from foreclosure proceeds, affecting the likelihood of debt recovery. What is the difference between a general and specific lien? Answer. A general lien affects all the debtor's property, while a specific lien attaches to one identified property. How does a property owner clear a lien from title? Answer: by paying the debt in full and recording a lien release with the County Recorder's Office. Closing remarks. Liens play a vital role in real estate finance, ownership, and title management. They ensure creditors have a legal path to collect debts while balancing an owner's right to use property as collateral. As a real estate professional, understanding lien creation, priority, and satisfaction protects both your client's interests and the integrity of the transaction.